In a world obsessed with flags and anthems, where nations shout their identities on the global stage through sport, one diamond-dusted corner of Europe has remained silent. Not because it lacks the resources, not because it was denied the opportunity, but because it simply chose not to. That place is Monaco, a playground of billionaires, a gilded peninsula of power and privilege, perched on the sun-soaked French Riviera, a land of royalty, roulette wheels, and roaring race cars. And yet, when it comes to football, when it comes to the single most beloved sport on earth, Monaco has made a curious decision. It has no national team. This isn't a case of missed paperwork or international denial. Monaco is a fully sovereign state. It has its own flag, its own monarch, its own Olympic team, and it sends athletes to compete under its name. It's recognized by the United Nations, has a seat in global diplomacy, and is referenced in textbooks across the world. It even has a football federation, founded in the year 2000. But that federation has never submitted a request to join FIFA or UEFA. It has never truly pursued affiliation with the sport's highest governing bodies. The world's most glamorous microstate, wealthy beyond comprehension and known across continents, has consciously decided to sit out the game that unites humanity like no other. And the question is, why? To answer it, we have to understand what Monaco really is. At first glance, Monaco appears to be a normal country, albeit a small one, with a population of roughly 39,000 people. It's larger than other European nations that have national teams. Liechtenstein, San Marino, and Gibraltar all field squads. Even the Faroe Islands, remote and windswept in the North Atlantic, play competitively. Monaco, by the numbers, could do the same. But numbers never tell the whole story. This is not a conventional population. Fewer than 10,000 of those residents are actual Monegasque citizens. The rest are ultra-wealthy expatriates, financial refugees, or wealthy heirs who made Monaco their tax-free fortress. It's a country where the median age is 56. That is older than any other nation on Earth. Japan, often held up as the face of global aging, has a median age of 49.5. In Japan, adult diapers now outsell baby ones. And Monaco is older than Japan by a wider gap than Japan is older than the European average. Youth in Monaco is fleeting. Babies are rare. Most residents live in luxury, detached from the rhythms of everyday life, in marble apartments that tower over the Mediterranean. This is not a place where footballers grow up kicking balls on cracked pavement. This is a place where the idea of grassroots is both literal and foreign. Becoming a citizen in Monaco is not a birthright or reward for hard work. It's a transaction. You need a minimum of 500,000 euros deposited into a local bank account and the ability to purchase or rent property in a market where the cheapest homes cost millions. One penthouse sold for $440 million. To gain Monegasque citizenship, you must renounce your previous nationality. Monaco does not allow dual citizenship. It guards its identity like it guards its wealth, fiercely, privately, and behind closed gates. This results in a curious paradox. Monaco is a country without a people, or rather, a country with very few people who feel connected to its national soul. There is no groundswell support for a Monegasque national football team because there is no real Monegasque community in the way that there is in Iceland or Luxembourg or even in Kosovo. The majority of people who live in Monaco are there not to express identity, but to escape from it. They are not citizens of a nation. They are citizens of convenience. It is no surprise, then, that the few footballers born in Monaco tend to represent other countries. Olivier Boscagli, for instance, was born in Monaco but played for France at youth level and now plies his trade for PSV Eindhoven in the Netherlands. Matteo Minguzzi, another Monaco-born player, represents Italy. These players did not grow up dreaming of scoring in a World Cup final while draped in Monegasque red and white. They grow up in elite academies, in international schools, and they follow the call of the nations that offer opportunity, heritage, or exposure. Monaco cannot compete with that, not because it lacks talent, but because it lacks the emotional infrastructure to inspire loyalty. And yet, this nation of paradoxes does have a football team, not a national team in the FIFA sense, but a club that has carried the Monegasque name across Europe for generations. A AS Monaco Football Club, founded in 1924, is one of France's most successful sides. It has won Ligue 1 8 times, reached the UEFA Champions League final in 2004, and sent players like Thierry Henry, David Trezeguet, and Kylian Mbappe into the footballing stratosphere. Its stadium, Stade Louis II, is a cathedral of modern football. With a capacity of over 16,000, it hosted the UEFA Super Cup exclusively for 14 years. Yet this coliseum of elite competition is not used for international matches. It is used for club football. It is AS Monaco's home, and only AS Monaco's. The club plays in France's league system, not Monaco's, because Monaco does not have a national league. The Monégasque Football Federation oversees amateur and youth football, but has never established a full domestic structure. Instead, it has poured its footballing ambitions into AS Monaco, which is registered with the French Football Federation. And here lies another problem. If Monaco were to gain FIFA and UEFA recognition, AS Monaco's status would change. It would no longer qualify for UEFA competitions through France. Like FC Vaduz in Liechtenstein, AS Monaco will be treated as a guest club in a foreign league. That means even if AS Monaco won the French League or the French Cup, it would not be eligible for the Champions League or Europa League through France's UEFA coefficient. Instead, it would need to qualify via domestic Monégasque competition, something that doesn't exist. And even if one were created, Monaco's low UEFA ranking would mean that its champion could only reach the qualifying rounds of the UEFA Conference League, the lowest tier European competition. All of AS Monaco's history, prestige, and ambition would be reduced to dust. It would be a colossal downgrade. And Monaco does not do downgrades. The comparison to FC Vaduz is important. Liechtenstein is a small principality, like Monaco, and its only professional team plays in another country's league system. But because Liechtenstein is UEFA affiliated, FC Vaduz cannot represent Switzerland. It can only reach Europe through the Liechtenstein Cup. And despite dominating the tournament for decades, FC Vaduz has never reached the Champions League group stages. AS Monaco, on the other hand, has frequently. It has danced on Europe's brightest stage, and has no intention of giving that up in exchange for a national team that would almost certainly lose more games than it wins. If Monaco were to field a national team, its talent pool would be threadbare. It might include veterans like Francesco Renzetti or youth hopefuls like Muslim Yusuf. It might try to call upon dual nationals like Jordan Gomez or Tom Haitley, but the depth would be shallow. There would be no pipeline, no robust scouting network, no passionate fan base to carry them. Every match would be a mismatch. Monaco would join the ranks of football's punchlines, teams that concede 5 or 6 goals a match and celebrate when they lose by fewer. And unlike San Marino, Andorra, or the Faroe Islands, Monaco would not rally behind its team. There would be no chants, no tears, no parades through city streets after a hard-fought draw. Most Monégasque residents, either even in the country, would be on their yachts or private jets, flying over the Mediterranean while the national team toils in silence below. There is no emotional gravity in Monaco. There is only spectacle. And no one in Monaco wants to watch their nation lose 8-0 to Albania. Then there is the matter of history. Monaco is not without its darker chapters, and some of them are carved into the very stones of its footballing infrastructure. The Stade Louis II is named after Prince Louis II, a ruler whose legacy includes troubling compromises during World War II. Under his watch, Monaco maintained a position of neutrality, while allowing Nazi Germany to conduct financial operations through Monégasque channels. In 1943, Monégasque police rounded up dozens of Jews, including René Blum, a cultural figure and founder of the Ballets de Monte Carlo, and handed them over to the Nazis. Only 9 of the deported survived. Monaco did not issue a formal apology until 2015, when Prince Albert II finally acknowledged the nation's failures during the Holocaust. And yet, the stadium still bears Louis II's name. So does the nearby tunnel, the foundation, the avenue, the sculptures. In Monaco, history is rebranded, not reconciled. And that legacy lingers over every home match, every training session, every moment of reflection. The idea of building a national team in a place still haunted by its past might feel like a step too far for those who understand the weight of representation. It's easy to romanticize the idea of a Monegasque national team, the red and white jerseys, the pride of a nation stepping into the arena, the chance, however small, of scoring a famous goal. But that romance fades in the face of practicality. Monaco does not need a national football team. It has AS Monaco. It has prestige. It has influence. Why trade that for humiliation? Why give up Champions League nights against Real Madrid and Manchester City for Tuesday afternoon kickoffs against Luxembourg? There's a final twist to this story, and it is one that feels almost tragic. If the next Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo were born in Monaco and only held Monegasque citizenship, they would not be allowed to play international football, not for France, not for Italy, not for anyone. Because Monaco has no FIFA team, that prodigy would be barred from the sport's grandest stages. And yet, even that hypothetical isn't enough to sway Monaco's leaders. They have decided that such a risk is preferable to the certain embarrassment of a national team with no purpose, no pride, and no home. So the answer, in the end, is devastatingly simple. Monaco doesn't have a national football team because it doesn't want one. It is not a question of logistics, talent, or opportunity. It is a question of identity. Monaco's identity is not rooted in community or hardship or triumph through adversity. It is rooted in exclusion, in control, in the maintenance of appearances. A national team is too messy, too democratic, too unpredictable. Monaco has chosen silence over song, discretion over drama, and perhaps that, in its own twisted way, is the most Monegasque choice of all. Now that you know the truth, what do you think? Should Monaco finally field a national team, or is their silence a smarter play than we thought? Would you support a Monegasque team if it entered FIFA competitions, or is AS Monaco already enough? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And if you love stories that expose football's hidden truths, hit that subscribe button.